guys. I miss you guys, by the way. I miss you guys a lot now. We're digging down into almost the second week. I miss you guys. All right. Today we're going to do something where you really got to focus. You've got to focus. We're going to learn how to create depth. Like the ability to look, like for something to look deep. Like you can look into it. Like it looks like there's depth to it. There's different layers to it. Like instead of looking like you're standing flat on the street 2D, how do we draw something so it looks like we're going up the street? And we can see up the street to a point called the vanishing point. The vanishing point. A point at which things vanish, where you can no longer see. So as I'm doing this project, because this project you're going to literally be looking at me do the whole entire thing, I will point out where the vanishing point is. You guys have to focus. So let's create a city street. And so some of my friends, some of my middle school friends, hey middle school friends, some of my 5th grade friends, hey 5th grade friends, oh, my 3rd and 4th grade friends too. They understand about the vanishing point. And so I'm here so that everybody can now understand about the vanishing point. And then some friends might want to finish their project, because this is what we were working on before school ended. Finish. Okay. Let's get started. Okay. You're not going to need that many supplies for this. The only supplies you're going to need is a pencil and probably a sharpener, an eraser, a ruler, and some Sharpies. You're supposed to be in the pen. Anyways, so we're going to create that depth. But first we need to make my paper, because it's the only paper I can find, and it was really big. So I want to cut it. I want to fold it in half. I want to make a square. So actually, let's not fold it in half. We're going to take one corner and we're going to pull it up. We're going to make that perfect square here. That. Now we're going to take this back flap and I'm just going to fold it. And I've created this triangle. So did you see what I did? I had it like this. I turned it. I took the corner. I put the corner up. I folded it. There's a flap here. I took that flap and I just folded it down, and I only folded it down so that I can cut it off. You can rip it off. That's why scissors aren't really part of the supplies, but you can make them part of the supplies. We don't need this. We are drawing. Okay, here we go. So first things first is we need to create an X. A line going from that corner to that corner. A line going from that corner to that corner. So let's see, is my ruler long enough for that? My ruler is not long enough for me to get a good line to go across. What do we do? Let's just create another fold. So let's take this corner and pull it up. Now, because I did that, I have an X in the paper bins, right? So now what I could do is just trace over them. You want to use your ruler with every single line that you make, though. Every single line that you make, use your ruler. Because if the lines aren't straight, that's when things start to go wrong. Oops, I went too hard. Oops, there's something under the table here, you guys. It's creating this bumpiness. Okay, so I got that line there. Gotta get this line. Gotta get this line straight here. Straighten y'all back. Stand up straight. Okay, this pencil's not the best friend, but you know I couldn't find my pencil sharpener, just like I can't never find nothing. Okay, we've got this X. See it? It goes up. It goes like that. Now, we have to create, this is, let me start right here. This right here, this point in the middle, this is called the vanishing point. This is the vanishing point. This is the point at which when we're looking at something, if we're standing right here and we're looking that way, the image vanishes at this point. It vanishes. It kind of looks like you're going to fall off the tip of the earth. Maybe that's why they used to think that the earth was flat. It's not. Okay, here we go. Next step. We want to create the sidewalk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little tiny point here because this is going to show how thick the sidewalk is going to be. I want my you don't want your sidewalk to be so thin. You don't want to put your dot there. This is called a guideline. These are guidelines. They're going to guide us through where we want things to be. So I want mine thick. So I put a little dot there and then I put a little dot there. Now I'm going to make 2 lines. The first line is going to go from here to here. The second line is going to go from here, the vanishing point, to here. So let's make those lines. Use your ruler. I'm going to line up this point with that. Here we go. Oops. Oh my God, look how long it's taking me to line things up, you guys. Okay. So there's one line from there to there. Now I need to go from here to here. Wow, now we have this. It's looking like this. It's looking really good, right? So now what I need to do is create the lines in the sidewalk. And the hard part of that about this is that when you see the street going like this and like this, you're like, that's not normally what I look like a street looks like when I draw, you know, a picture of a city or something. It looks like it's going really skinny. So they want to put the sidewalk lines, they want to turn their ruler to be parallel, which means things are like this. Perpendicular means things are crossing like this. They want it to be the lines to be parallel to this line. No. Keep your ruler straight. And you're just going to keep your ruler straight and you're going to make a line on both sides of the sidewalk at the same time. Line, line, down. Keep that ruler straight. Straight along the paper. Line, line, down. Now, if you notice, the sidewalk blocks in the beginning by the vanishing point, they're going to be closer together so that they appear to be smaller. And then as you get closer to where you would be standing, right here, the sidewalk blocks are going to get bigger because you got to remember, now if you're standing next to a big building, and you're right next to it. It looks humongous. It looks so tall. Like it's a huge building. It's like 24 floors. But if you were to drive, I don't know, let's say about 100 feet up the block and you look at that same building, it's going to look much, much smaller because it's further away. You see how this was really small, then it's small, then it got small, then it got started bigger, and then it started getting fatter, and then fatter, then fatter. But you have to remember, keep your ruler straight. Line, line, down. Line, line, down. Line, line, down. Down, down. Woo, look at that sidewalk. Now, this is because I made sure my ruler was going down straight, not my ruler's doing this or doing this. You are not doing this. Your ruler stays like this. Down, line, line, down, line, line, down, line, line. Okay, so we got that. So we have the sidewalk to our, see that sidewalk? Yes. And at this point, your sidewalk, you're not gonna ever take it out. So if you wanna take a Sharpie and go over your sidewalk, that's fine. Okay, so now let's try to make some buildings go along with the city. There's 5 lines, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines that go along with creating the buildings to the city. Now, the buildings are gonna get bigger, like we talked about, they're gonna be big, then they're gonna start to get smaller because of them going more towards the vanishing point. We can't see them, they're too far away. So, here we go. First line, use your ruler. We're gonna go from the edge of the paper to the guideline. The buildings do not ever go over this line, ever, no. Okay, so here we go. Let me pull this down so that I can be real close here. From this to this, 1. Now we're gonna go down on the actual guideline. This is the second line. This line is gonna show, you're gonna be able to see how fat the front of your buildings are. So I wanna make this first line a little bit long. This line here can always be different lengths, because you might want some of your buildings to be fatter, some to be smaller. So you see that? From here to the guideline, from the guideline down. So there's 1 line, there's 2 lines. Now we're gonna take this right here, where I stopped. I stopped here, I said stop. I'm gonna take this all the way down to the sidewalk. All the way down to the sidewalk. A straight line. Not a line that goes like this, not a line that looks like that. We're not in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory today. We're trying to create some straight lines. So I'm gonna take it from there, like we were discussing, and all the way down to the sidewalk. Okay, so we've got that. We've got 1 line, 2 line, 3 lines. Now we're gonna do our 4th line. Our 4th line is going to start here. Do you see this point where I hit the guideline? We're gonna everything goes down to the sidewalk. Make sure you bring everything down to the sidewalk. Bring it on down. Bring it around town. SpongeBob. Okay, so there is my 4th line. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me label these for you. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And my 5th line, we're gonna go to the bottom here, and we want to create like some type of an alley space. And then here's your 5th line. Now you're probably wondering, okay, there's 1 building. What do I do now? What do you mean? Create another one. You just keep going off of the building next to the building that you're trying to create. So, first line. From the side of this building, you see that? Over, just like we did here. Now I want to come down. Now, this building's going to be a big building. It probably would have to be some kind of a Walmart or something because it's so big. Then that line. So 1, 2, 3. 4th line. Where's it go? Where's it go? Where's it go? Right there. You're right. You're right. Here we go. Let's bring that down. Bring it down. Bring that down to the ground. Bring that down. Hey, bring it down to the ground. Hey. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now this makes it appear like there's some type of an alleyway, like if there's garbage over there, it's just like, oh, go in the alley. I'm going to make my next building. Do you see how my buildings are getting smaller because I'm not going above this guideline here? I'm going to make this next building kind of slender, like it's some type of slender building. You get it? Not Slenderman, slender building. I'm going to trace these things with Sharpies too so you guys can see these lines. And see, even though this building is small, you still do it the exact same way. You see that? Now let's make this last little building, let's make it, oh no, you guys don't remember. I keep forgetting that I am a crispy old lady. Okay. Now there's my fourth line. Now, what line am I forgetting? Ding, 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 ding. Okay, yep. This line, the alleyway lines, right? So, over, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we make a really small one. I don't need to use rulers so small. 3, 4, 5. Okay, here we go. So now we have this. Let's erase the guidelines over the top of the buildings. We don't need these lines in between anymore. They were just guidelines. They were just helping us guide. It's just guiding our hand, guiding our drawing thoughts, and so that we don't go over where we need to go to create that depth. Remember, it's not depth, it's depth. Depth is the funny part. Okay. Now, we have this. Next thing, let's create like some doors, some windows. So what we want to do is, let me delete this. We just literally want to make every building look different. Okay, we want to make every building look different. Now you could put buildings on this side as well. I'm going to make some really quick buildings on this side so that we can create this city that I'm talking about. Down, 2, 3. Take your time, you guys. Make sure that line is right. 3. Make sure you get that point. It's got to be on the point and come all the way down to the sidewalk and then go off the page. It's the same exact thing you did on the other side, but it's just the opposite side, right? So let's create one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm just creating my buildings, you guys. Jingle buildings, jingle. No, it's not Christmas. I'm not even in that spirit right now. All right. As we get closer to the vanishing point, you guys see what's happening, right? It's looking like everything's getting smaller to the point of disappear. Just like a magic trick. Poof! Be gone. Let's see. There's some crazy rodents outside. I wish I could poof be gone them, you guys. Okay, so let's go over. I'm not using a ruler. You can see the difference of the line not being as straight. But for y'all's all purposes, for you guys, we're just gonna... Okay, now let's erase these guidelines. We have buildings on both sides here. Can you see that, cameraman? Can you see that? Okay, so now those guidelines are deleted. Delete. Now, let's use our Sharpie and go over to these lines really quick. So, no talking involved here. Can you see all these lines, cameraman? Do I need to... What you guys definitely are going to need to Sharpie this. Now, I may not Sharpie the entire thing just because why would I need to Sharpie the entire thing? You guys know what I mean by Sharpie the entire thing. Okay. But I am going to make some of these lines darker just so that we can do some erasing without the lines going away because they're traced with the Sharpie. Okay, now you see I have traced all my lines with Sharpie. I want to make all my buildings look different. So I want to create a scene. I want to create people walking up the street. I want to create cars driving down the street. I want to create street lamps. I want to create a sunset or clouds in the sky. I want to create doors and windows and people in their windows and chimneys and bricks. You get it. So the first thing I want to create, I'm not going to use any rulers to just, draw this up. I want to create, I want this building to be brick. So I'm going to create a brick side to this building. And normally when I start drawing details and stuff like this, I don't really trip, y'all. You guys already know. I really don't trip off the straight lines when we're making like the details. The straight lines have to come with the technique of making the buildings and the street and creating that depth. So I'm gonna make some bricks here. See, you're gonna start to get to the point. Get the point. It's a brick. Hey. Ow. Okay, so see how you see that alley? It looks like there's that alley entrance right there. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put a chimney up here with some smoke coming out like we're in the city. I'm also gonna put a staircase coming down the side of this building. Now you can tell that these are the sides of the building and these are the fronts of the building. That's why we went down on this guideline. I said, this is gonna let you see how fat your building is gonna be. This building is super tall. So, let me create a platform so people could stand there. They come down, and normally there's like some type of gate thing where people could stand in, and then a ladder going up to that gate thing, and then you can climb up. And don't forget the street lines. It's the same as the depth here. The lines look like they're longer and longer as you get closer. And let's create some windows. So when you create your windows and doors, the top of the line has to be parallel with the guideline here. You see how this looks like it's parallel? Okay, so down straight, and then another parallel. I'm not really good without my ruler, but oh well. There's one window. Let's make a door, maybe a double door. Let's make that come down. Okay, so I don't know who's gonna come through that door, but whoever's coming through that door, it's like somebody is in their bed sleeping. Okay, and they've got the curtains. This could be the bakery. Make some lights. Like lights, camera. Actually, I want to make a bridge. I gotta make a bridge go from here to here. Right, where people could walk. There's some gate so that people can walk across the bridge. You don't want people to fall out the bridge. Okay, so this is a cool little walkway here. Let's put some people in there. I want to create some clouds. Maybe a moon. It could be. Okay, let's just keep, maybe it's a car. Okay, maybe it's a car. Car's got lots of smoke. Or a truck. Maybe there's some street lamps. Maybe there's a mailbox. That kind of looks like a minion, but yeah, it's there. We need to create windows on all your buildings. All your windows could be different. You can have some small ones, some big ones. They could be wonky ones. You can make it look like there's these type of where the smoke comes out the side. Okay, let's make that door behind there, because this can't be walking with no door, right? And we could, so you get it, like people riding their bikes going up the street. Maybe even a tree on the side here. But what you don't want to do, don't go above that guideline, because this is our sunset area. This is the area where you can make these roots, like the roots of the tree are attacking the sidewalk, they're attacking the sides of the buildings. Okay? And there's people out their windows asking for help. And they're like, help! See? They have a flag. They're saying, help me! I need help. But there's no... Okay, so you get it. You get it. Just go on and on and on and on until it just... your whole entire city is full. What else could you think of? What else can we think of to put on the street? We've got street lamps, we've got cars, we've got windows and doors and buildings and bridges. We need people. So you can make your people stick figures. Some of you guys are going to be able to, let's make people, maybe there's people walking and they're holding hands. But don't hold hands right now. You guys already know holding hands right now is not what we're doing. Okay? You know, some kids playing outside. You get it. So, I would like you to send me pictures of your perspective scene, because I'm super interested to see what you guys come up with. Now, mine's is boring. It's not as exciting as yours. It's going to be, but yeah. I hope you guys have fun. Hold up. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what I've done, and I'm not going to finish it up. I want you guys to finish yours up because I've done this. Anyways, I like this brick house. That's my favorite house right there. Anyhow, so it was nice. I love you guys, and I miss you, and let's do this.